Let's see, mic check 1, 2.
Yep.
We in the building. What's popping, everybody? Hope all is well. Man, we got a special guest, and I'll be crazy not to say that she a hometown hero in Clark County. And I think a lot of people don't understand how important this interview that you about to drop on us is, not just to ourselves,
right,
but like to the community, to young ladies, to young men. And I ain't gonna even introduce. You gotta introduce yourself because you can do it better than me, for real. No, absolutely.
You know me. Well, I'm Marshay Moore.
The GOAT.
Yeah, grew up in Vancouver, Washington, so you already know how that is. I play professional basketball overseas now. Been out there for about 4 years, and so just continuing my career right now. So that's where I'm at.
All right, and listen though.
Chill.
She Marshay the GOAT. Ford Vancouver alumni, get it out the mud type, for real. Get it out the mud. And so, bro, people don't even know, like, people that come from like inner city poverty environments, bro, like to get out the mud and be successful. I'm telling you, out the mud to a professional athlete, right, people do not understand what that is like. Like right, no resources, man, no parent supervision sometimes. No trainer, no, come on. No money. No money, come on, no guidance, at times, right? Like going to the house, no food in the house. Like people don't know that stuff, right?
Bologna sandwiches.
No, come on. Like, I used to have
no bread.
People don't know.
Frying it on the stove or the microwave to the burnt edges.
Come on, people don't know that struggle, but we survivors, right? Exactly. And our gifts makes room for us. Right. So then I'm gonna just go through some questions, but like, I think this is kind of tapping into, but like, how was your childhood growing up?
Honestly, it was really rough. Both of my parents were alcoholics, so we were, going from place to place. I lived in Portland, Oregon till about 4th grade, and then I moved with my grandma on my dad's side, and it was more stability there because I was going from, alcoholics. My dad went to prison, and, my mom was taking care of, 8 kids, and so it was a lot on her, and I think just going to live with my grandma kind of at least alleviated a little pressure. And I mean, it was different. It was tough, especially mentally, from going, with all your siblings to going by yourself.
No, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I was kind of, that's when I became like more angry, like at the world, like, why they leave me basically, like now I have to be here by myself. And
absolutely.
And so it was a little struggle, but.
That's crazy you talk about that because, I wasn't born in Vancouver. I was born in Detroit.
Right.
You've seen a lot of domestic violence, and so we migrated to you basically all the way to the Pacific Northwest. And, people don't understand, like when you lose your family, that's a part of you hurt, you know what I'm saying? And then you have questions, to things you might not get answers for, but you're getting these questions because you're seeing other people's families thriving. Like when I did sports, bro, I see other people, both parents there, working it out. I'm literally after the game going home and there's no heat, no running water, stuff like that.
They got the new kicks on.
No, absolutely.
Been
absolutely.
For 2 years,
absolutely.
trying to keep them clean.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let me ask you this then. So who was the first person to influence you or inspire you to play basketball? Like how'd that whole...
Honestly, I don't even know. I know, like, obviously my sister played basketball and stuff, and I was supposed to play with her my freshman year, her senior year. That didn't really work out, and honestly, I was just outside, and I found the homies who played basketball.
Right, just hooping.
Just hooping.
Pound for pound concrete.
Yeah, and then also I think I met you at that time too.
Okay,
when we was in PAL and stuff, and just around the neighborhood. And then I played for my 8th grade tryout team.
Okay.
And like I was in there, and they was like, I was just trying some random dribbling on the side. Like I don't know what I was doing, but I was trying, and the other girls was gossiping, and then when they was like recruiting, they was like, yeah, Shay over here grinding, not talking, and like I think that was that step of like, oh, I can do something.
Okay. Well, that kind of goes into the next question of like, when did you realize basketball could become something serious for you?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Was that moment right there where?
I think it was a little bit later because I mean, freshman year, sophomore year, like getting on varsity and playing. And I think like I was still young, so I was making those, dumb decisions.
Yeah, rookie mistakes.
Right, and outside off the court. And I think what kind of threw me is like I had a best friend who kind of was going on the wrong path. And I was like, like you missing school and stuff like that, and like I got to keep my grades up because like being an athlete, there's a certain expectation that you have to have.
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So I was like, yeah, I was like, we can't be friends. Like, I gotta focus on basketball. So around that sophomore, junior year, I was like, I gotta really like focus and lock in, and like I'm not a kid anymore. Like,
Okay.
I gotta grow up.
Okay. Okay. No, but see, so that's crazy because like right now, I think what certain athletes is there's no moral codes no more. Where it's like you got athletes where, and this is just real, like with the young kids.
Right.
They will smoke before games and play. You know what I'm saying? This is not the blast or whatever, but it's just like when I was hooping, like smoking was a sin. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew that I wouldn't have been able to go where I needed to go if they found out, right? Or like skipping school or not having my grades. Nowadays, oh, what's up with it? Good. Yeah, no, you good. You good. No.
Bro, how you been?
We getting there. Yeah, this is my shade. My shade.
Hello.
Yeah. So, but being an athlete and different things like that, you know what I'm saying? You got to protect that. You know what I'm saying? And I think nowadays, as kids, don't protect that. They're kids are supplementing things,
right?
And putting the thing that can get them out. They put that on the back burner just to be cool, like identity, whatever that is. And so you kind of actually, answer the next question. So I'm gonna just go on to the next question. But like, what was something that was the biggest lesson that you learned during high school season? Cause you was playing like Prairie, right?
Yeah.
You had like back
Skip Prairie, but
No, but what was some other powerhouses?
That's our enemy.
Yeah.
I think what Camus.
Camus, okay.
I mean, every team. We was at the bottom. We was like
Bottom
1 for
barrel.
11.
Yeah.
So every team we played was
they was putting
us.
They was putting W's on the thing already.
They already knew.
They already knew.
Like, shit, I don't even need to tie my shoes all the way. Like, and I was getting double team, triple team. So it was like, I gotta find a way, Like,
she said double team, triple team.
I swear, I forgot who we was playing.
You gotta give me some of your film though. Like,
I'll try to find some.
That high school film is crazy.
Yeah.
I show people your college stuff, bro, and they be like,
man,
I be dying too, because when I show them, I be like, the Pac-12 is literally like the GSHLE to me, slow.
Right.
So when you athletic like that, it was like by the time they get to you, you're already. But oh my goodness, but I'm gonna put some film on this too. But
I gotta figure it out because back then we just did CDs. We did the highlights and put them on the CDs.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if the CD's still around. I had to ask my JV coach.
Yeah, I still got a couple high school games.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I have nothing.
Yeah, I got a couple high school. I still got my high school mixtape and all that stuff, bro.
Nothing.
Okay.
I was surprised I was able to get the videos.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know they
existed. In the middle though. Like if I could figure out how to continue to allow that to live on until the pixel dies.
Right.
It's something that it's a memorial, right? Like it's like, Matt, this is the work you put in. Because when I was grinding, it was like grinding blindly.
Right.
Just like, nah, bro, I'm trying to get my mind out of domestic violence. There's no, like, there's no success. There's no wins. It's like, because I'm poor still.
Right.
So when I was having great performances, next day, right? Next day, you know what I'm saying?
We all know the struggle.
Absolutely. My mom is still getting beat on. My mom ain't got no house. My mom is getting evicted. Nah, I didn't make it yet.
Yeah, I was growing up with all that stuff too.
Yeah.
With my mom on her side,
Man.
the fights and
Man.
watch her fighting people out in the front yard. Like, it was
crazy. People don't understand. Bro.
She was beating up 2 people at one time. One day, I'm like, Grandma. I was like, why? Like,
people do not understand that the struggle of just inner city. They look down at it because it's like, okay, there is gang violence, man. There is drug and alcohol, right? But that's like 5% of inner city. There's families out there, there's culture, there's barbecues, there's friendships, relationships.
Right.
And I think that they don't go inside to understand that there's people out here that got hearts. They're just in a bad situation. The cards they was dealt with, they don't know what to do with it. So come in with some information to help me elevate.
But you always could do everything and anything with your the cards you got dealt with,
You can, no, absolutely.
Gotta,
people don't know that though.
Exactly. They think you might have the whole deck and you don't, if you don't know how to use it, how to,
education.
Get that guidance in.
Yep.
Yeah, you just gonna think that they just, every card, every number is something.
Okay. So let me ask you this.
Right.
How was your recruiting process coming out of high school? Like how did you even end up going to college if you say you was at the bottom playing at Fort Vancouver? How did they find you?
Yeah, so I had one recruit, South Carolina Aikens, and I had went there on a visit,
Okay.
And we did like some one-on-one trainings and stuff like that. And I talked to the girls, and I was one in just disbelief, like this is it. And I didn't really know I didn't really have like that guidance to tell me like what can happen when you get to that level. I just knew when I was younger I wanted to go to D1.
Okay.
I wanted to play professional, but I didn't understand
the
level because I just love basketball.
Yeah.
And
was that a D1?
Yeah, it was D1. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I think one of the top schools then. Like they was telling me like they was partying with NBA players and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
the recruitment. I know the recruitment was crazy.
It was crazy. I was only there for like one day though.
Yeah.
So, and
I know.
Yeah.
The deleted scene trying to get you there.
So I came home because it was just a little recruit. Nothing. I went there by myself. That was the first time I ever flew on a plane. It was by myself.
Dang.
Yeah, and
crazy experience, right?
Yeah.
Never been on a plane? That was your first time?
Yeah.
Wowzers. That's
and by
crazy.
myself, I was so nervous. I was like, dang.
Where to go in the airport? You know, there's people that just like they got time miles. I don't know how you say it, but like
the travel miles or something like that.
Travel miles, like literally. Like I didn't even leave my block, and if I did, 82nd after coming out of the north. All right, dang, we rolling right now. All right, so then
you didn't let me finish.
Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, we is rolling. Give me a second.
Go on to the next question.
All right, yeah, you can be getting out of sorts sometimes.
Absolutely, I do me. Time management.
Right. So then
she said 2 minutes.
Well, then let me talk. You doing the 130? I'm doing the 30 seconds. So I went home, and I waited like one day to just try to figure out what I was trying to do. And I had called them back, and they was like, I already got a point guard. So that was like my only opportunity.
Damn.
So I actually was like, all right, I'll just take a year off, just work on my game.
Okay. Did you end up taking that year off?
No, my JV coach was like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Let me go find some videos, some highlights, and then we'll send them out. And then he's like, we'll just take the junior college route.
Okay.
So that's when I went on three visits, Lower Columbia.
Okay.
I went to Clark College.
Okay.
I didn't really like Clark College because that was the Prairie coach. And I was like, that was basically like my nemesis. I couldn't go play for you after you just beat me every single year of my life.
Yeah.
And then I got to Blue Mountain, and that's the next step.
But tell about Blue Mountain though.
Yeah, Blue Mountain was good to me for sure. So I had just left high school. I became an independent up there, so I didn't get no support from no family. It was just me, and they just welcomed me with open arms, and they believed in me a lot of the times, and more times I believed myself because I was just like I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I was playing basketball. And I had a great experience there. We placed 5th in my freshman year.
Yeah.
We placed 5th my sophomore year. I had like the NWAC Baden Player of the Year, NWAC
Say that again. Nobody to hear you.
Baden Award Player of the Year.
Player of the Year.
Defense Player of the Year.
Defensive Player of the Year.
I broke a record. 123 points in 4 games.
123 points in 4 games.
Yeah, that was an NWAC tournament scoring record.
Getting loose.
Yeah.
Getting loose.
So then after that, my sophomore
my
year, I had basically every D2, almost a couple of D1s looking at me like from Western Oregon, Eastern Oregon, California, San Francisco State, Chico State, Alaska teams.
From Ford, the mud.
Like everything. And then D1s was Oregon, Idaho State, Boise. And I went on a visit to East Carolina, and it was.
Damn, girl.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy.
All right. Crazy. So, damn. Number 8 is where I'm at actually, man. I don't really do. I be freestyling and stuff like that, but no. Number 8, where we at though? Like, what did you have to do to sacrifice or stay disciplined to reach the level that you're at? You know what I'm saying?
Right. I think it took me a while just trying to understand like myself and like who I am and what I want to become. And I think also looking back at my parents, I knew I didn't want to be like them. And so I had to change the narrative of, partying all the time. And like, obviously in college we party, but it was just being disciplined. Like at some point it just gets overrated. Like I'd rather just sleep and just chill and maybe just watch some videos of, basketball and how I can, develop my skills.
Right.
because like growing up, I didn't really watch a lot of basketball. I really was just outside. Like, so I didn't really understand basketball even.
Right. You just a pure hooper.
Yeah. Even when I got to Oregon, like I didn't even know like what to expect. Like I was just like, okay. Then I understood like, oh, you got to have the stats, turnover to assist ratio,
right?
Your scoring, rebounding, like. And I was just like, I'm just here to play. Like I just love it.
Pound for pound.
You know
what's funny is, so when I came from Portland to Vancouver, I actually had got on this AAU team where it was a lot more structured than the programs I was playing in Portland.
Right.
It was called the Hoop, but the Hoop helped me understand systematic basketball, because back in the days it was like pound for pound. You're just going off of what? If you're stronger, faster, whatever, shoot, whatever, you just played that way. But in Vancouver, I thought that was my phone. In Vancouver, I thought I learned systematic stuff like, man, if he's left hand, force him right, how to read and react, and all these cheat codes, ball in their feet in their beef. Yeah. We wasn't doing none of that in Portland at the rec and stuff like that. And so it elevated my game because I already had the dog part, I could hoop. But now I was like breeding hooping with systematic basketball. Right. And I became even more smarter and dominant as a player. But it's like, that's funny that you say like, man, you was a pound for pound hooper, but you didn't get the structure. And then you was at Ford too, right?
Yeah.
I was at Bay, and Bay and Ford was like similar. But my coach, he actually went to college. So he was giving us college stuff while we were playing as high schoolers. And I think that that's how we were able to like advance over other programs, just because we had different information.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
My high school coach was, I think he was our counselor, so it was a little different. Even I was to challenge him at some points, but I think just being disciplined, just like knowing, you just got to go with your gut feeling. You know what's wrong, you know what's right.
Keep barring.
And you just got to be able to understand that level and the levels that you're at and where you want to be, because you could do certain stuff, but then you just got to limit it and be focused more on what you want to achieve.
No, absolutely. We rolling too, 60 minutes in, you know what I'm saying? It's going to go on YouTube anyways, but like, we gonna chop this film up and keep it going. But like, I think we'll get through all these questions and stuff, but like, damn, man, people don't even understand. I'm still stuck on just like the mud part, bro, because like, who really fires me up is Meek Mills. People don't know that gutter.
Grind,
you got so much pain in you that is boiling for change.
Right. I listened to actually a lot of Meek Mill growing up.
His pain, bro. Like I'm so I want to be
pain away,
bro. 5 a.m. bro. He got some slappers, bro. But like that music, bro, like. You can just hear people's story, and that story makes them, but it also helps them get others aware of what they went through to get out of their circumstance, because you ain't supposed to. When you're at the bottom of the barrel, you ain't really supposed to get out, because I feel like that's how the system is. Yeah. It's designed to keep people poor, you know what I'm saying? So if you're not educated and you ain't got no fire to make the right connections and stuff, you will stay bound. You know what I'm saying? So
definitely.
So
I've seen it.
We on number 9 then. So how did you earn the opportunity to play D1? Did we do that one?
Yeah, I kind of.
Yeah, you barred on. Yeah. Okay. So boom. How did you stay motivated during difficult moments? Because remember, I was doing that driver's job when you was at Oregon, and we were talking, and you shared a little stuff with me, and I was like this: if you would have said, Matt, just come out here. I was gonna leave that driver's job, and I was like, bro, she told me to come. I don't know what was gonna happen, but I was gonna leave that driver's job, and even if I had to sleep in my car for you to get right, I was gonna do that.
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, it was tough for real. Cause just trying to navigate, especially being out of D1, like everybody that's been on the best on their high school team all together, so everybody's hooping. Like it ain't outside no more. It ain't high school. Like. It's just like discipline and just hooping. And I think I was scared because, again, like I didn't really understand like where I was at.
Right.
So, when I first got there, I was supposed to be the point guard, and all the plays, like I was just like, messing up. I didn't understand like the system. Right. And I honestly don't think the system fit me, because I'm a push the ball up type of girl, like, going back and forth.
Transition, yep.
And that's what I was at JUCO. So when it came into Oregon, it was like, slow it down, and I already not doing what I was supposed to do as a 1, so I moved to a 2. And I think that probably messed up just my junior career there.
Right.
Because they expected something for me and I didn't bring it to the table because,
Right.
you know, everybody else around me, like you said, like they have parents. They probably knew the coaches since they was kids.
Man.
And I'm just coming in. They like, oh, like she come from the, you know, the gutter. Like
Right.
she just a street baller. Like we just give her an education.
Right.
And she riding the bench, she riding the bench. And
Right.
so it was just like, I mean, it was hard to be like, dang, like, you know, they don't see what I was worth, but I knew what I was worth. So I just started going to the Recs when I could. You know, I was playing start playing with the guys again. Like,
right. Hoopers,
yeah, right. Like, you know, they gonna give me the feeling and confidence I need. You
absolutely,
know?
Absolutely. That's funny though, because you know, a lot of times in hoop, we don't understand how, like, as coaches, we could say stuff and it could be unintentional, but we could take people's mojos away. Like when I attracted Gonzaga to me, and this is no disrespect to my coach because he's my dog still today, but when I attracted Mark Fuse to me, after we're going home, I'm going to my granny's house and he tells me, I said, Coach, what's up with the scholarships? He's like, Matt, you read at a second grade level, you're not going to college. You tell a poor black kid that they're not going to college. What he translated to me that I interpret was, is you ain't helping your mom out. You know what I'm saying? And so that killed my swagger.
Yeah.
I actually I wasn't but 4 games. I just wasn't aggressive for those 4 games. And that Lil Wayne Cannon song came out, boy, set your boy on fire. Okay. So let me ask you this then. I already said This is crazy. This is my first little one. So what were some struggles and obstacles you faced throughout your journey?
Yeah, so even before I got overseas, but to bring back the last question though, even in high school, like when I was at Blue Mountain, I was working, I didn't go home. So my freshman year, I stayed there. I worked as a janitor. So I had the keys to the gym, the weight room, and I was just in there every single day. Like I was just jumping off of boxes with weights in my hands. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was like, I'm grinding.
You gonna make me fucking cry,
yeah,
yo.
No, for real. Like that's what I was doing. Like, and I had like, you know, the janitors, they big and stuff. I had them in front of me, crossing them up, and they about to fall. They got I told them to record me off my flip phone and stuff. Like,
man.
I was like, I need something, you know, and they was there to support me for real. So
they believed in you. Yeah. You know what movie that reminds me of? So there's this movie called Queen's Bandit. It's about this chess one.
Yeah, that's I love
But remember when she was little, as an orphan, there was the janitor in there that was teaching her. Yeah. And then she got cold, and they was like, "Don't come back."
Right. She's like, "No, I'm coming back." And then she was able to, you know, get that opportunity. Yeah, that was a cold movie. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! But they believed in you.
Yeah.
And this is why I wanted to do this, because people don't understand that, like, no matter what your cards that you're dealt with, God will really make your gift make room for you. Right. And in all those things, even when we don't understand, people will come out of nowhere and just provide, right? But the thing that I realize is when you don't know what providing looks like, it was just a moment. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What was this? And then it's like the mindset is like it happened, but it's just kind of like in the nothing box after that, because, you know, but those were like God putting things to get you where you needed to go. It just wasn't the course that we thought it was going to be, right? But it happened.
It's unexpected.
Yeah, absolutely.
So after Oregon, I didn't get no looks. And so I was like, dang, I don't know what to do. I didn't want to go back home. So I ended up going to live with my coach from my freshman year. And I ended up getting my master's in business.
Master's in business. Education, y'all.
Yeah, graduate student. Went to a couple combines. Nothing happened after the 2 years. I went to Arizona. And I was working warehouse jobs. I was working like 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week.
The struggle is real.
Like, just different types. And then I got into a University of Oregon alumni who helps student athletes, you know, after sports. And I got the sales job. So, and I was still like, even though all this time, like I was living paycheck to paycheck, like, you know, I was still by myself. Like, I didn't understand like the finance and apartments and how to get all that stuff. So, I was just, renting stuff out, small places, you know, rooms, and just trying to just keep myself motivated. Like, this is all going to turn out the way I want it to.
Absolutely,
you know?
Dang. The struggle is real though, because now you're in a stage where it's like, you know, you got your childhood trauma, you got whatever it was in your childhood trauma in your teenage stage, right? And then you carry it into this adult stage, but then it's like, really, I don't even know how to fend for myself, but you're in these situations where you have to learn. Some people are learning those things now. Like I remember like, yeah, I learned how to do stuff because even though we was going through these fires, we weren't even in the village, it was right next, but I had opportunities. So I remember my stepdad's dad we used to come us at like 5 a.m., come get us, and then we're going to go chop wood. You know what I'm saying? So me seeing that was like, those were still ways out. Even though he wasn't consistent, I still learned work, right? Watching my mom walk to the bus stop. You see her, she walks so fast. You get out the house, you look up the street, she already on the bus, right? So you were seeing these little things, but those were moments that help you cultivate to become who you are now, right?
Yeah,
but we don't know that because when you're not having that conversation and be like, I'm walking, da-da-da-da-da-da, well, you had this. Now it's starting to stick, right? Now you start to put these puzzles together. But when mom's not at home, who are you having conversations with to even understand
myself?
The grind, right? And self can have some bad stuff, right?
Right.
I thought I was, I thought I was nobody. Like I felt like I didn't even have a brain when I was younger. I used to get called stupid. I remember trying to learn how to read Green Eggs and Ham. I used to get slapped in the face, all types of stuff. So you think I'm gonna go to school and be at the house trying again? Absolutely not. And I'm gonna fire if you talk bad about me. And I'm gonna cuss you out as a teacher because you make me feeling stupid.
Exactly what I was doing too.
Right, going popcorn read. And you know I can't. Matthew, your turn. I was just in a meeting with y'all. Did you know I can't read?
Now you want me doing blast. Just to embarrass me.
Come on now.
And I'm already embarrassed.
Come on now. Oh yeah, the table's going up. I'm flipping the table like Jesus on me. I'm flipping the table up. All right, so okay. So let me ask you this. So how did you stay motivated? Oh no.
12.
We on 12?
I think so, yeah.
What advice would you give the young athletes trying to follow?
Maybe it's on 11.
Are we on 11?
Because I said the obstacles of what I faced, but I didn't really say like what motivated me.
Okay, yeah. How'd you stay motivated during the difficult moments?
You want to ask that again to make it clear for the? You want?
Oh, that was like with a whole
No. Like I was cutting you off. So what'd you say? What was your question?
Oh, after she cut me off, we're gonna run that back. How did you stay motivated during difficult moments?
Yeah, honestly, I think really it was like the trauma that I already faced growing up. You know, like especially with my parents. Like I said, like I didn't want to be like them. You know, and growing up with my grandma, like she wasn't really supporting anything I did. So I had to prove to her too, like this is what I'm going to do and this is how I'm going to do it. And like whether you believe in me or not, like I got to that point where I believe in myself. And like I just like I don't know, the vision in me, like I just always wanted to play, you know, like professionally, and I just like I don't know, that gut feeling is like you can do it. Like I just nobody could ever tell me that I can't do something. I proved that a lot to my grandma, like oh, like you can't play basketball, like it's not gonna do nothing for you. And it was just like I was really good in school. I liked school, so like I had my grades was good. You know, I was still doing bad decisions, like you know every other kid does. You know, but it was just like
he was outside, you guys. That's what that means.
I was outside. I didn't want to be inside.
I was outside.
I was outside. My grandma was like, it was to the point where she was like, you need to stay in. I'm like, well, stay in and do what? I don't want to watch TV and sit on my booty and get fat. Like, I want to exercise. I want to hang out with my friends. I want to get some bikes, run up the street. And
get a joke.
Yeah, like, I was a trouble kid for real, but I just didn't understand, like, but I knew I was a trouble kid, but I wasn't going to be in trouble how my family, my parents was. I didn't want to go to jail, you know.
But the part that's crazy is this, though. There's two parts to what you were saying to me. The first part is this, is when you were talking about your granny doubting the dream. Who doubted her dream, right? And when you were talking about that, it reminds me of this movie in The Five Heartbeats, where Eddie Kane is cold at singing. They just went and did their thing, and then he's walking home, and it's his dad and mom outside, and mama's like, oh, how is this show happy for him, right? And the dad's standing up like, you ain't gonna be shit, cause I ain't shit. And when I see that,
just trying to pass it down.
Passing it down, cause somebody told the same thing to him, but guess what? What did somebody say to his father? Right? And that's hereditary. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one of the things that I noticed. And then another thing too is how do we continue to just keep on going and understanding that it's not about us, it's bigger than us, right? And that's another thing too, what you were saying. But no, those are some real stuff.
I think especially, for us, like in the Black community, it's just like also understanding like everything that we've been through and like just trying to build something for all of us.
All of us, not just me, not right,
exactly.
All of us.
Like we a community.
Come on.
Like they say, like we're the only community that is not together as much as we should be. When in reality, like we're the majority and we don't understand that.
Yeah.
So it's just like trying to, even when I just think about like just trying to help my family out, like I got to grind a little bit harder because it's not just that's me that went through the struggle. They did too, and they still in the struggle. I just happen to have a little different path on in my life where I was able to stay disciplined and have that accuracy that I needed, to thrive. And,
You know what's crazy is, so you were talking about community, Black community and stuff, right? So like when you start to get into church, you start to, like church allows you to get into other cultures, communities. So I was in this talk, I met some Slavic folks, and I've always been a fan of like how they operate, how they do business, how they have all the different type of traits, and they cycle their money through each other and stuff like that, right? So one day I was mentoring my little homie, we was having lunch, and one of the Slavic dudes remembered me, and we started breaking bread, and we was at the table, and then we just got on the like culture and stuff like that, and he was like this. He said, "Don't be I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything," but he said, "The Black culture is poison."
Right.
And he started like kind of elaborating on it, I was like, damn.
But why are we poisoned? Because we got poisoned for so many centuries and decades, and our consciousness is just asleep. There's a lot of us that are waking up, but just like with also social media, they don't show you the good side.
Absolutely.
Any other culture, in a way, they got the both good side, but
they get the investments, they all that stuff.
We only see the bad, jail, shooting, gangs, people who made it over to the league. They didn't really tell us their path and how they got there. And so a lot of even the youth, we only see what like Steph Curry, what he did, during his leagues, instead of understanding all the hard work and sweat and blood and sleepless
and look at the dynamic though.
Through,
to be honest with you, I love LeBron, not just because he cold, but his story, he us, right? And now look at where he's at, right? Mm-hmm. Regardless of what people have to say about him, he's doing this thing. But then now, what these people are in positions of power, we have to find people that are doing that. But then also people that are trying to get on that level and be a 1%er and stuff like that. You got to ask too.
Yeah.
You can't be scared. Like in 2020, during that COVID, I got connected with Phil Handy. DMing them and all that stuff, just taking shots, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you come from a poverty mindset, you would say, nah, they ain't gonna respond. They got the blue star, they ain't gonna da-da-da, but you don't know.
Until you try.
Until you try, right?
That's what just in life. You don't know nothing until you try.
Absolutely.
So why not try and see? Mm-hmm. And you're gonna fail. You failing only because you didn't try. You didn't understand how to do it.
Right.
You gotta learn something and go through that failing stage to get better.
All right, let me check this time.
That's at least 25, 30.
33. Let's do two more.
It's cool. At the end of the day, you could chop it up. You could have 5 different sessions.
No, absolutely. All right, so look, we are on
kids, I think, somewhere around there.
Oh yeah. Damn, we got a lot of questions.
It's cool. It's good.
All right, look.
It's good.
What advice would you give to your younger athletes trying to follow similar paths?
Right.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Just never give up. There's gonna be people who are gonna doubt you, but the thing is that you can't doubt yourself. You're living in that moment. You are who you are, and if you want to be different and bring different, you gotta do different. You know. So just have confidence in yourself no matter what, and just stay focused, and just keep pushing. There's people that's gonna be willing to help you, but you gotta help yourself out first.
Okay, so this is a trippy one right here. Imagine your younger self is sitting right across from here right now.
Right.
What conversation would you be telling your younger self?
Yeah.
Where you like?
Right. I don't feel like I didn't do too much of I wouldn't change too much. Yeah. I think what I would say is just ask more, ask help for more. If your family not giving it, there's some other people that will help you and guide you. And I think also just, like I said, just being more educated about, just the money situation, how to start saving now, and just like continue to be you, and like don't let people tell you that you're different. Like, and if you're different, you're different. That what makes you you.
Right.
And like just make smarter decisions earlier so you don't have to deal with it later on in life, you know.
Absolutely.
And just keep grinding. Like, you got to grind now, so when you get older, you know, my age, it'll be easier. You did all the grinding, you know. Like, you can still be a kid, but you got to be a smart kid.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's something you wish you would have took advantage of more? I mean, hold on. What is something you wish you would have taken more advantage of when you were younger?
Advantage of one, I think, honestly, like in high school, I think playing more sports, and also get into more of those group the group classes that do like admin.
Like ASB,
like all that
DECA,
stuff. Yeah, like all that
classroom
stuff.
president.
Right, exactly. Just to have that, and I think because those people, they, you know, I think the family atmosphere is already higher in a way, like, you know, so like they're more wise. They have a different like perspective on life.
Right.
And those are the people that you see that be on, you know, the news channel and talking and stuff, because they already learn like how to communicate and like how to, you know, like go out in the real world and do that stuff. So I think those are the two that I probably would have done a little bit more. And then just probably look for like more mentoring.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And this kind of goes into that next question, like looking back, is there anything you would have done differently? And I think that's kind of answering that. I think with myself, if I could go back, is even though the cards I was dealt, they were bad cards, but I believe that my gift made room for me. And there was moments in my life that if I just would have had a better attitude, I think that I would have seized those moments. Because again, like, bro, I still attracted Gonzaga. I knew from the first time I played Derek Ravio one-on-one and he told me I was going to go to Gonzaga, I already knew what school I was going to go to from that, and I knew what my jersey was going to be, number 5, right? So I just wish that I was a little bit wiser and learned how to listen to like my instinct and accepting me and not like what somebody thinks of me, right? And so I wish that I had more of that, because I felt like I had it. I just, you know, when you don't have that outer drip and stuff like that, people look at on the outside instead of the inside of the cup, right? And so I wish that I would have really just have more inner like trust in myself to like, nah, look at what you've accomplished and see it. But when you got that trauma and stuff, it's like you're doing all these things, but there's this voice that's like, you're not nothing. Like that's loud. That's the loudest thing, right? And
just comparing yourself, I think too, like just comparing yourself to other people, because it's like, you know, like, if you coming from, you know, more hardships, and you seeing people, you know, like where they got money to go eat out lunch and you got to stay in the cafeteria and eat, you know, those chicken patties and Smiley, you know, French fries and stuff. So I think
free lunch, that be fucking people up. If the kids that get even free lunch and the kids that bring home lunch,
got like
two different, you know, they got bread. It's like, you eat that free lunch? We got no money.
No, I'm just drinking chocolate milk or something. I don't want to look too poor.
Yeah, no, for real.
Yeah, so.
All right, so what do you want young people to take away from your story?
Honestly, it's just a grind. Like, you just got to grind. You just got to want to get it. And it's going to be tough, especially if you're growing up in harder situations and, you know, hardships and adversity. And, you know, have commitment issues or whatever it may be. Real bad trauma, but it's just about honestly just seeing the positive of everything. Like, if you negative, you're gonna have negative thoughts, you're gonna think negative, you're gonna do negative. But if you could think, you know, like, okay, I'm in this situation, okay, how can I make it better? You know, always trying to figure out how to make it better. And just, you know, like understanding that like the better you do for yourself, people gonna always come to you. So if you working hard and you grinding, you staying good in school, and you just trying to do good, like people will migrate to you, and the right people will migrate, and the wrong people, they're gonna leave because they see the power that you have, and they know that they can't take hold of you, and they gonna leave. You know, like you don't gotta push them away. They gonna trickle down and go away. And then you have all these people who are bringing sunshine in your life and showing you who you really are. And that's what you grab onto, and that keeps, you know, you pushing. Just having that support. You know?
So I got some bonus questions.
Right. Go ahead.
And the bonus questions is this: what is your thoughts on mental health in sports?
Right.
And then another thing is just like being a girl athlete. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you watch the WNBA and stuff, bro, they get paid like school teachers. Like, stuff is starting to boom now, but it's like, I'm looking at money, I'm like, bro, that's like the beginning pay of a 2 years teacher.
Right.
But then they're changing the world, impacting people, the women's rights and all types of stuff like that. And it's like, women are amazing, and they get the,
the bottom of the bottom.
Bottom of the bottom.
So creators,
Yeah. So, no, absolutely. So
mental,
as a sports, like.
I think you got to have a balance, because I know there is mental, and you have to also be mentally, like, strong at some point. You can't always just allow like the weak-minded of you take over in your mental and think, okay, I had a mental week this week.
Right.
I'm not feeling it.
Right.
And then just bring yourself in a hole where it's like that's the new norm, and you're not understanding. Like, okay, at some point you got to pick yourself up.
Absolutely.
And I think just having boundaries. I mean, I know for us, like, we didn't have these mental.
Right. I didn't even know that shit even existed.
Yeah. Now they have, like, if you mental, like, not mental, but you have, like.
I was fucked up.
Yeah. You have mental health, like, they give you mental health days,
No,
like,
absolutely.
Now, when we was there, like, nah, I could have been crying 10 minutes before practice, but I got to go out and show up for practice.
That was my mental health. Crying and go again. Nigga go home. Nigga, mom ain't home. Nigga be crying. Like, and they got to go up, get up, and start the day over.
Yeah, over and over. So I think it's important that they are bringing up mental health. And
absolutely.
You just got to, like, know when, like, you're doing too much, but also you got to seek help, Like, there are people that's willing to help you, and there's a lot of different ways that you can do stuff. Like, I know,
but people don't know how to seek help. Like, nobody's teaching you to advocate.
Yeah.
So how do you do that when, like, in the environment I was coming from, Drewski, you don't tell. You know what I'm saying? So then now, that you should let a teacher know something's popping, but then what if CPS get involved and all that other stuff? So you really, low key, you ain't trying to snitch, because that's the code.
I mean, there's different ways. Like, I know for me, when I was, like, going through a lot, I actually went to therapy and counseling when I was a little younger, and I was writing in a journal, but it's hard too, because even when I was, like, with my grandma and we had, like, gotten our disagreements and I was writing in my journal, they ended up reading my privacy.
Yeah.
And, that kind of broke me, like, dang, I can't even tell, like, who I am. And so it's that balance of, like, finding whatever, like, you're artistic, whether you read, you go on a hike, like, you go grounding, you understand, like, your body and stuff, and just learning, like, you could do those stuff, like, without having to seek that help, and so, like, I think those are a couple of things that you can do. And we all on the phones use chat, chat can give you a whole week.
Cuddy chat.
Yeah, it could give you a whole week of how to prepare yourself for mental health, and like, what are some steps that you can take slowly, like, one day at a time, like, it don't gotta be, I gotta do this every day, one time a week.
Right.
And if you're being consistent, okay, maybe I could do another day today, and just try to keep that balance and just find how to be consistent when you're struggling like that.
Yeah. Well, we're going to shout out Jamba Juice, because they ain't sponsoring yet, but they will be sponsoring. Yeah. So Jamba Juice, we over here at your spot. So
what'd you get?
White gummy. Yeah. White gummy is actually, I'm going to just say this, and this ain't stereotypical, but I guarantee you every black person that is from Portland that knew about Lloyd Center probably knows about white gummy.
Yeah, definitely. My sister's right there. I'm telling you.
So that white gummy go crazy. Shout out to the hood, white gummy. So man, I just appreciate your time. We're gonna do this more, but again, you got it from the mud. Now you're a professional athlete, but we do want to continue to educate and inspire each other, but also to get to that bag, because the more we power up and we get more resources and stuff like that, it's just a domino effect for others. And I think that's what it's about. If it's sports, education, entrepreneurship, doctors, cops, lawyers, it's all about getting in those positions of power, and then each one teach one with the information. And then if you want to be able to become that, mentorship, right?
Right. You gotta start, small, community first.
No, absolutely.
Start
absolutely.
with the community, the people that you already grew up with and know, and that actually want to, do something
Absolutely.
for the community, and that's how you build. You
Yeah.
already help, Washington community.
Yep.
We got, the men, women, different perspectives.
Yeah.
And then just building with our resources and connections, and then just spreading, to Oregon and Seattle, and just building a worldwide and even international now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying to know you. So she actually going? Where are you going again?
I'm going to Poland.
So I'm trying to get my passport so I can come out there.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold, but
I don't care. I'm trying to go out there and train you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm working on. I'm gonna get my passport.
It'll be good. It'll be good because now our.
I'm trying to go out there on everything.
Yeah, we only got the men and the women in the gym. So back then, like my other team, like it was a university gym. Yeah. So we had the kids in there, the students doing basically PE.
I'm gonna tell my wife to do my passport today.
It's cheap. It's like $130. It's not. I'm telling you, it's. Look, I'm saying, it's cheap. It's cheap.
No, I'm getting.
I had to buy my new one. I had to update mine in Hungary. I thought I was gonna be able to come back, and I didn't have no problem.
She would have been Brittany Griner out there having the life out. They had her in the
my girl out there, so I'll be good.
Yeah, look at her. They had her captain, had her hostage.
Yeah, that ain't gonna be me. I got arrested one time.
It's like this. He's in the cages. And then after that, it was like, hey, good game. She was
got some jet leader.
Look, they had Brittany Griner in there. That was an act. They had her over there, and then they do, hey, good game. She was able to play after, and then you got to go back. They're probably good to her, low key. They cashed her out, y'all.
Yeah, well, I don't know too much. She out here hooping now. She back. That's another trauma, and she excelled,
What's that one movie? Was it Raising? No, remember Power? With what's his name? Tyreek?
Yeah, Tyreek.
Remember he set him up in
No, I didn't watch Power. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He set his parents up to pay all this money, but he was acting like he got kidnapped, but he had to deal with what to do. No, I'm just playing with y'all. But hey, love you guys much, man. Thank you for checking out the channel. Yeah. Please don't hesitate to subscribe, comment. You know what I'm saying? Follow our Instagrams, Vancouver Elite Outreach. Love the process. What's your
Baller Shay 13? Check me out.
Yeah. Go to my website, www.vancouvereliteoutreach.org. And I'm gonna leave this with this, but like we can't really grow these communities if we're not making investments. And investments are different. Investments can be time, investments can be you sharing the person's information, and investments can be financially. And so my mission is to save one kid at a time. And I want to continue to keep doing that. But if I don't have investments, and I don't have business owners, if I don't have teachers, if I don't have people that can give the $5, then we can still keep going, but it's going to be a slower pace. You know what I'm saying? But there's many hands light work. And so if we come together, we can help each other out in a way. And it's not about me. I've been doing my work for 16 years, business portfolio. And it's all about the heart. Youth engagement, community engagement, soul trauma, all that stuff, man. And so I'm just trying to make sure that I get this stuff out, and I'm just a beggar that found bread, and we're going to keep rolling. But if you don't subscribe and you don't help and you don't donate, I'm taking it personal.
We gonna know.
Absolutely. And I always say
and
this.
You gonna know.
Absolutely. And your mama feet stink, because I'm petty. I'm really petty like that. Your mama feet stink because you know that you should have shared, like, comment, supported, and all that. And then you watch this whole video, and then you didn't do nothing about it.
And you bringing hope.
Yeah. Your mama's feet smell like that. Bounce that. And I ain't gonna say all that. But love you guys much. Thank you for falling in. And I appreciate you so much, sis.
Appreciate it.
Love you.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
That was fire.